Hey guys, this is Jack from 7 Seas. Today we're going to be talking about minimizing tang aggression when adding a new tang to your aquarium. So because there are so many species of tangs out there, we're going to give you a general rule of thumb to make it easier for you to see which tangs are going to be more compatible with each other. So let's get into one possible scenario. Say you already have a tang in your tank and you would like to add another one. Typically I would try to choose something that is a different genus. So say you have a Zebrasoma flabensis, something like your common yellow tang. You might want to add something in the Acanthrus family, like a powder blue tang, powder brown tang, something in that larger ovular body structure rather than circle. So sometimes even with using that method that I stated, you can still have a lot of aggression in the tank. So some ways to minimize it once you already have the tang in your fish tank would be adding a lot of food in there, making sure they're constantly active and distracted. And if that doesn't work, because you don't want to have to pull the tang out, stress it more, and bring it back to your local fish store, you could do light shutdown, turn off the light for about a day or so, and typically by the next day, that new tang in the tank is going to be more passive towards the one that's dominant, and then it will have less aggression towards each other because it already has established their roles in the tank. So say you don't have any tangs in your tank yet, but you'd like to add numerous. I would typically recommend adding them all at once because you're going to minimize the aggression completely. They don't have any established territories in there and they're all going to be getting used to it all together at the same time. Normally with adding tangs to your tank, the more the merrier, but in your aquarium, you can't add as many as you'd like to. Typically, you're gonna want at least a 125-gallon fish tank, and you can only fit so many fish in there at once. Today, we've covered numerous scenarios on how to add numerous tangs to your tank. Now, the key things to remember would be, A, feed them a lot, especially when you add a new one in there when you already have a pre-existing dominant tang in the tank. 2 would be to add all your tangs in your tank at once to minimize and spread out the aggression throughout numerous fish rather than one fish antagonizing one fish in behind of it. And C, I would recommend blacking out the tank. If those other things don't work out for you, then blacking out the tank is going to provide darkness. The fish are typically going to hide from each other, and by the next day when the lights are on, one of them will know which one is dominant typically. So just say none of those options worked out for you because every tang is different and you had a really aggressive tang. One thing that would work for catching them out of the tank if you cannot catch them, because some people's tanks are really large or have a lot of rockscape and you just can't get a net down in there. Some things that worked out for me is actually turning your light spectrum red. Turning all the other spectrums down, turn your light up red, and then go in there with the net. They typically cannot see at all, and it makes it really easy for them to catch. If you have any more tang-related questions or reef topic questions in general, go ahead and drop a comment in the comment section below.
See you later.
That is something I say a lot.
Sure, okay.
See you later, stinkies. Come and visit me at 7 Seas Aquatics.